Hello, everyone. This is the weekly review for U.S. history from March 1st to March 5th. We were wrapping up the unit on the Great Depression and transitioning into our unit on the World War II era. The beginning of the week, we had our fifth and last writing prompt dealing with the steps of analyzing primary and secondary sources. We determined the criteria for the summative assessment, including the main idea of the source, the purpose of the source, specific details of the source, and how the source could help students make informed decisions. Some students continued working on the first formative assessments, working on defining and finding examples of primary and secondary sources, and students were also introduced to the summative assessment. Our four-class focus was respect. This included being engaged in class, emphasizing the benefits and satisfaction of learning, and attempting to complete work in a timely fashion. So you'll be reflecting on how well you were able to do that and stay on top of your work and make sure you were getting it done as it was assigned. We learned about the question formulation technique during the course of the week. Students were given a source. The source was it was a reflection from a soldier who was part of the liberation of Dachau, a German concentration camp at the end of World War II. They were then asked to generate as many questions as they could come up with about the source. In total, the class produced 15 separate questions. The following day, we engaged in part two of the question formulation technique. Students watched a video about the difference between open-ended and closed-ended questions. We reviewed the questions that had been generated the day before, and we categorized them as open or closed-ended. We then had a discussion about the advantages and disadvantages of both types of questions, closed and open-ended. And lastly, we practiced changing questions from open-ended to closed-ended and from closed to open-ended. What's happening next? The summative assessment for the Great Depression will be due next Thursday. We will continue working with the next unit called World War II era. During that unit, we'll be returning to analyzing eras and themes for this new unit, but we'll be using the question formulation technique to help with our analysis in this unit. That's it for now. Take care.